All right. Hey everyone, I think we're live. Welcome to This Week in Mini Apps. Uh, yeah, this is a stream where we get together every week to just share and talk about latest developments in Farcaster mini app ecosystem and walk through and demo a few interesting apps in the ecosystem. So we're excited this week. We have Amps here to walk us through their app and product, their mini app. So yeah, say hi to Phil and Jeff. We're here with us.
Hey, happy to be here.
Hey,
Cool.
Yeah, you guys are our first guest, so thanks for joining.
No problem. Inaugural.
Yeah,
Big.
yeah, it's an honor.
totally. Cool. Well, yeah, we're gonna do like a little news up at the top, and then we'll walk through the app and do some demos. Um, yeah, starting with first item this week, we have new developer analytics in the Warpcast app. So this is pretty cool. If you have built an app, you can access your developers tab here. We have these awesome new dev tools that show you embeds, manifest, a bunch of new stuff in here. So we've totally overhauled the dev tools. And you can find your deployed apps in here. And we now have this really cool analytics page, which shows you a bunch of stats and attributes about your apps, including unique users in the past 28 days, total opens. If your mini app does transactions, we're tracking that, and we'll show that here as well. And time series over last 28 days, 14 days, 7 days. So yeah, I think this is really exciting. I hope this is exciting for devs who are building on top of Warpcast. You can now go back and see kind of how your app has been performing over the last 28 days. Adds and removes, all kinds of stats and information in here.
Yeah, and actually to piggyback on that, Phil manages the official like Amps account, which runs which basically holds the mini app, but he was able to add me as an access user into this dashboard as well, so I see it on my side as well, which is great.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we have this kind of multi-admin setup as well. I forget where that is in here, but yeah, you can add
Yeah, it's the
add other
top right.
developers. Top right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
there we go.
there.
Transfer ownership or manage roles. Nice. Yeah, I think I was posting on Twitter with someone, but yeah, not naming names out there, but we have this unique users number is fantastic. And I've seen a lot of people post this on Farcaster or on Twitter or share some of these numbers. And it's awesome to see apps out there with 20,000, tens of thousands, 20,000s, five-figure users, which is more than some chains and L2s out there.
Yeah, Marvel had I think it was 3.5 million or something crazy like that. So it was really cool to see.
Yeah, so congrats to everyone. Please brag and share about your stats on the timeline. We appreciate that. Cool. Item number 2, we have a new domain for the mini apps docs. So if you've been looking for this, you may have been visiting miniapps.farcaster.xyz, but we're trying to make this even easier. So just visit miniapps.xyz. Easy, clean, simple to remember. You can find our landing page and all our docs here. So yeah, share that out with folks. Trying to create this as a nice central source for finding all the information about making mini.
I was also kind of surprised that domain wasn't taken because
Yeah.
Dan just was like, "Hey guys, we should just get this," and then we just got it. So kind of wild.
Yeah, if you ever need to snipe a domain, talk to Dan. He's the master of that. Cool. Not much more to say there, but nice short URL. Send all your friends and family. Please, everyone, go build mini apps and read the docs.
I know you guys mentioned something about LLMs.txt on these docs. How does that actually work?
Oh yeah, we can show that here. So yeah, 2 cool things I like to feature in these docs. One is that we have this LLMs full.txt, which is just a path on the documentation site here, and this just basically pulls all the docs, pulls all the doc pages, concatenates them together as Markdown, and you can plug this into your LLM tool of choice. So if you have a high context window LLM, this just gives it the entire Farcaster mini apps docs all in one shot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and this actually wasn't us. This was built by the WebM team. This is Vox, which is a really great open source documentation framework from the same folks who build WAGMI and VM and a lot of your favorite Ethereum tools. Yeah, the other thing in here you might have seen is similar tool. You can ask ChatGPT page by page. So this will give it this context for some particular page in the docs. Then you can ask it a question. How do I load my mini app when it's ready?
Are you ready to risk it all and show us your sidebar?
No. In fact,
I was so nervous that would.
My life flashed before my eyes as I opened this. I usually do a lot of staging in advance. Cool. There we go. All right, moving on. Item 3, we have a couple of mini app events at FarCon. So FarCon coming up May 1st. What is the date? Coming up soon. And we have two big mini app showcase events coming up. So one hosted by Seed Club, and I think you're presenting there, right?
I am trying to convince Jeff to present, but we
Okay.
need to give him a little we need to give him a little nudge to do it. So maybe we can get him on this call.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Well, AMPS will be, some representative from AMPS will be presenting there along with a bunch of other teams. So this is May 3rd. You can find details here. We'll send this link out in the show notes. There we go. Wow, that feels fun to say.
Yeah, wow, your show notes.
Yeah. But yeah, May 3rd, this one's sponsored by Seed Club and Monad, bunch of teams coming to demo mini apps. And then a second one hosted by Embed, Builders Garden, and Privy at Paradigm on, let's see, one's May 3rd, one's May 4th. So yeah, you can have back-to-back 2 rocking days of mini apps. But yeah, check out both these events. I think RSVPs are still open. They are both side events. So, whether or not you have a FarCon main event ticket, if you're around, please come check these out and come see some cool mini app demos.
I think your audio might be a little scrambled. I don't know if it's just me.
No,
Oh, yeah.
it's the internet again.
It was weird. It's once he opened up chat, it started getting a little weird there. Maybe the AI is malfunctioning.
Yeah, I need fiber into my house or something.
I think it's good now. Yeah, this is just the second event with Privy at the Paradigm office and Limone. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, yeah, and final item in news is this new mini app starter. This is really cool. Has anyone used this? Okay, so we built the if you go into the dev tools, you may have seen like the Farcaster, I think it's called the Frames V2 demo repo, which is like the original kind of reference demo, which a lot of people have used as their point of reference for building apps. We've tried to keep that up to date with every item in the SDK as we add new SDK actions and stuff. But of course, that's getting kind of old. That was some of the very first code we wrote, and has fallen out of date a little bit with the latest spec. But Mo, who's a fantastic Farcaster builder, built the Butterfly client, working on some cool new Farcaster stuff now, but built this new starter kit, which is really awesome. Built on top of Valtown, which is a kind of Replit-like hosting interface, like hosting service for hosting web apps. And it's just a really great demo of all the functionality in the SDK. Very similar to our original demo, but this one has kind of been brought back up to date and up to speed, and is built on this really cool tooling using Valtown, where you can get up and running and started really, really quickly with the starter. So yeah, he's described some of the things in here, but like it handles notifications, it's got built-in DB, dynamic images, router navigation, really good kind of reference demo that walks you through everything you can do in the SDK. So yeah, if you're looking for another reference that is not our official SDK reference, this is a great one. And yeah, it's awesome to see. Oh man, cool. Yeah, awesome to see more of these out there. Just more options for people to build on differently opinionated stacks and tools to get started with. So check that out.
That's great.
All right, on to the demos. Maybe we can hand it over to Amp's team if you guys want to start and talk us over your mini app and product.
Sure, happy to. I think I can maybe demo my screen. A little bit of background on like maybe AMP's lore. So a couple years ago, when I think Farcaster was much earlier in its thinking, there was this idea for a feature in the protocol called AMPs that I think Dan was really excited about. And basically the idea was like, in addition to having people that you follow, there could be some people that you could amp, which is like you're basically giving them an extra status boost. Like, hey, this is someone who I vouch for. This is someone who like I want to, maybe broadcast to my network. And I think for very practical reasons, the feature never moved forward. It was sort of like this like beloved idea spec that never made it to production. And so earlier this year, Jeff and I were thinking about different ways to, use the frame standard to build something interesting. And around the same time, there's a lot of experimentation happening around with some of the pseudonymous accounts, like what Kartik was building or what like Waj was building. And I realized that a lot of people were using those accounts to get distribution. And so like it wasn't even necessarily about being, pseudonymous. It was about like, well, actually this thing has more followers than I do, so I'm going to use it to launch products. somehow in that conversation, Jeff and I realized like, well, maybe there's actually a way just to, build this as a frame. And so the very first idea of AMP started off very simple. You can essentially pay people who follow you for recasts. And it's possible for a couple of reasons that wouldn't have been even a year ago. I think base is ubiquitous and it has very low transaction fees. And so what that does is it means you can actually do lower value transactions. Like 50 cents on an L1 doesn't make any sense because a significant amount of the actual cost is going to go into paying the transaction fee. And so like it's just a non-starter for users. So that's one thing. The second is, frames giving distribution and now mini apps, because it just solves the discovery problem. So we don't have to like work so hard to find our first 100 or 1,000 users, which for a network effect product like ours is like, there's a book about it, right? It's like a cold start. It's almost impossible to do. And then the third one is, wallets are ubiquitous. And so that just solved a ton of DevX for us around like, well, are they using Rainbow or Coinbase Wallet on web or MetaMask on mobile or this random wallet we've never heard? Like knowing that the worplet was just sort of everywhere made it possible for us to build this really quickly. And so like all of this sort of converged earlier this year, and Jeff and I did a sprint to try to get the first version of the frame out, amps, within a couple of weeks. And we tested it in private beta for about 6 weeks and then launched it earlier this week in general access. And so, yeah, maybe if you want to go ahead and launch it, if you're open to doing the demo.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. So when you first land on the page, what you'll do is you'll see from your feed all of your recent casts. And these are top level casts. You can also click show replies and you can also see things that you've replied to. Maybe we don't do that for posterity because you're probably, in the replies. And so if you want to get extra distribution on a cast, you can go ahead and either click the recast button or the like button on a given cast. Let's say you want to recast something. So maybe if you want to.
Yeah, let's see. This is my demo account, so this is all frame stuff. But yeah, maybe I can make a cast and we can do
Okay,
that.
cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm also happy to drive if you'd prefer.
Yeah, I got you. Let's do this.
Cool.
Let's boost our Twitter tweet.
Nice.
Oh yeah, the live stream.
Yeah.
One interesting thing you can also do, just so you know, is you can also boost somebody else's cast. So you can copy the URL and you can paste it in there. So it doesn't have to be from your account.
Cool.
That's a little bit of a hidden feature not many people know about.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out the other day with Leighton. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Boost is appreciated.
Perfect.
That's really cool. You can like sponsor
Exactly.
other people, and like I can see like ecosystems want to sponsor their builders to get distribution, so they could like pay for that.
One thing I would love to do, maybe shill for sponsors during Builder Day. I would love to give anyone who's participating in the Builder Hackathon some budget to use amps to boost their hackathon projects. And so I think even giving everyone who's participating like $100 in USDC, we could route it through amps, and I think it would be great.
That's such a good idea. Okay,
open call for sponsors, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So now I recast or like on here.
Yeah, maybe let's do recast. So what'll happen when you come to this page is you'll see anyone who's following your account that is registered for amps will appear here. And the previous screen, I think this is just worth calling out. We actually screened your cast. And so we made sure that it didn't hit some of our categories, freedom of speech, not freedom of reach. People don't want to be recasting political stuff. They don't want to be recasting profanity. Sorry, Borrow Dutch, no cock codes. The majority of things that get screened every day are Borrow Dutch related things. And so we have a screening thing where there's a little like path and it's like, if Borrow Dutch wrote this, like look at it. Just kidding. But
It feels that way. It feels that way because about 75% of the screencasts are cock codes. So.
Yeah, exactly. So you can connect your wallet here, and this will just connect it to the worplet. If you're in the browser, it'll also connect to whatever, MetaMask or Coinbase Wallet or whatever. This allows you to spend the USDC in your wallet. Yep. And then you can go through and you can select followers. And so you can actually choose people. And what we do is we sort by ratio. And so if they have a lot of followers and they charge a very low price, they're going to show up at the top of the list. So basically this helps you find the best value for your money. And we automatically bundle likes with the recast. So that way, when you press the purchase button, there's an even ratio and it doesn't look out of place. And so what this means is Mikado, Gwei, Whale, and Oro will all automatically recast and like the post, and then they'll get sent USDC from your wallet directly to them, and that transaction happens simultaneously. And so you get engagement, they get money for helping to distribute it to their network, and it's a really nice system. It helps people monetize their audiences without needing to sell products or launch meme coins, and it's passive income for most of the people using the product.
Cool. All right, let's do it. $7.
I like that you batch the followers too. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That rounded up a little bit. There's like is there a service fee on top of that, or just a little additional?
We take a 2.5% fee
Cool.
on the transaction, and the buyer pays that. So the person who's receiving the money receives their full fee, but if you're the person purchasing the engagement, you pay 2.5% on top of it. Cool. So yeah, you just boosted the cast. Now you can go. You can check your notifications tab because it was engagement, and so it'll actually show up for you as a notification.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Cool.
And the cool thing is, all of those people will. Interesting. We can see why that's happening. All of those people will also receive a notification saying, "Hey, you just got paid for boosting something on behalf of the Horsefacts burner account."
Cool. Oh yeah, I see the recast. I see the like. Awesome.
Yeah. And so maybe check your notifications tab one more time.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay,
Awesome.
great.
Oh, that's really cool. And you guys just did it's $20,000 in volume?
Yeah, $20,000 in user volume. And so that's money that's been paid out to users. And so, a lot of people ask like, well, hey, what's the best way for me to earn money using amps? Like, first you should go register in the frame, and we will automatically set a price for you of $3 for a recast. But you can change that if you want. You can increase it, you can decrease it to $1 as the lowest. And what you can also do is a couple restrictions that we put in place. Only people who, sorry, you didn't pass the filter here.
Yeah, it's okay. My burner account is low quality.
The only people who can buy engagement from you are people who follow, or people who you follow, right? So it's like you will only boost content from people who you've already opted into following. So that's one level of sort of protection we put on people who register, because our theory is if you're following someone, you're likely to see their content in your feed anyway, and you'd be naturally engaging with it. And then the other restriction you can do is you can actually say, hey, I follow this person, but I never want to let them buy engagement from me. I won't say who, but there's some people who we follow them because it's funny, but not necessarily because we want to boost their content. And so you can actually opt out people and say, hey, this person, I want to remain following them because I get, entertainment from following them, but their content doesn't fit with something I'd want to share to my followers. And so those are just some additional protections that we give. Other stuff, Jeff, that we should touch on while we're in here? There's a ton of stuff under the hood that we've built that I feel like is...
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of, like you're saying, a lot of stuff happening under the hood to make it a seamless experience. We do track all of the transactions and reactions that are processed for people. So there are recoveries in place if for some reason the app just force quits, partway through a transaction. So yeah, we're just trying to cover all the bases and just make sure that on both sides of the network, people are happy getting paid to share content that they might have already shared already. And so, yeah, just basically just trying to create a deeper connection on those networks. So
yeah. Our hope with this, just thinking a little bit about the future, is we started with recasts and likes because they're pretty simple. One of the main pieces of feedback we've heard are from folks who are like, hey, I'm fine recasting stuff, but I want to be able to approve it first. So I don't want to give a signer, or maybe I don't want to give sort of blanket access to my account. And we've heard that feedback a lot. And so we're actually working on upgrading our on-chain infrastructure to allow for that multi-step process, which means that you'll be able to join the AMPS network without giving us a signer. And you'll receive, like, hey, Horsefacts wants you to recast this and he's willing to pay you $5. Do you want to approve, accept or deny it, basically? And we're balancing both sides of the network. We have people who want to buy engagement, and we have people who are, trusting us with access to their profiles. And our job as the mini app is to balance both sides of those. If we lean too heavily towards the buyers, it's not good for the sellers because they don't have the controls. And if we lean too much towards, making it restrictive, then the buyers don't get value out of it. And so from what we've heard, we're doing a pretty good job at this so far. I think there's always more work to be done. We want to be able to expand to additional engagement types. We want to be able to expand to allow people to say, hey, here's a product announcement. Can you give me some feedback on the website? Maybe, replies. Maybe I want to be able to boost things on additional social networks and pay sort of from Warpcast. I think this Any Boost Appreciated was actually one of the inspirations for amps. Like, why not use the Warpcast following as sort of like a raid and say, hey, go like this on X or retweet it on X, and I'll pay you because I know your verified wallet, and I can go check if you've done that. And so it's really exciting for us. We think that as Farcaster grows, this has the potential to become a really important piece of infrastructure for founders, products who want to get distribution. And we've been really encouraged by the progress and just also how responsive your team has been in helping us solve things that come up, answer questions.
Awesome. Yeah, this is an awesome example, and it's like quite a complex app, right? Like there's a lot going on behind the scenes too, with signers and with managing the payment workflow and transactions and kind of coordinating both sides of this market. So yeah, I think it's really impressive.
Smart.
Thank you.
Yeah, solves a real problem too that chat with a lot of people outside of Farcaster on needing to get reach. So this is fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. And shout out to the Nanar team also. They are powering a lot of this. And so if you are considering building a mini app and want access to high quality Snapchain data, I definitely recommend talking with the Nanar team. They are awesome and have a response time that is superhuman. I swear Rish doesn't sleep, and that's great for us. And they also, I want to do one more shout out. Because we're doing signers, there's a non-negligible fee. And so we have, over 10,000 registered signers. And the day that we sort of launched and the frame went viral, sorry, I owe you $1, Linda, when the mini app went viral, we had 10,000 signers sign up. That fee is expensive. It's quite a bit of money. And the Nanar team, processed that fee and worked with us. Like, we never had downtime. They never said, hey, we're going to stop payment until you guys pay us. Like, they were amazing about it. And so just that level of professionalism and sort of trust and like, hey, this is going to be good for us in the end, because as long as you guys keep growing, we'll build an amazing product together, is really what you want out of an infrastructure company. And so, don't have enough good things to say about them.
I'll take a clip of that and then send it to them so they can use it for promotional things.
Great. Maybe we'll get an enterprise plan discount. So.
All right, I have one question, then we can move on to other demos. But yeah, I'm curious how, like, we have these kind of two sides of the market. You have this kind of price discovery, I think, in terms of people listing their recasts and listing their content. Like, how has that been working out? And I'm curious what you've been seeing, right? It seems like maybe people start around $1, $2, whatever, kind of like we saw in the demo. But like, how is that kind of evening out, and where are people finding that equilibrium in terms of like what the value of a like or recast is?
Can I send you a link to a Dune dashboard?
Okay.
I'll answer.
Of course.
So, questions better answered with a dashboard.
Yeah, exactly. Classic politician move. Let me answer your question with a question. So I think I can send it in the chat here. Okay, so this is a community dashboard created by John Dar and Zane. So shout out to them. Thank you for making this. Literally like the first week we launched. Just love Farcaster because we didn't have to build this ourselves. And if you scroll down, there's a list of top receivers, which I think is like there you go. Okay. So the receivers amount, you'll notice that there's a couple things that the top receivers have in common. One, they tend to have large distribution, like large follower counts on Farcaster, but they also have, a mix of prices. And so, for example, like what I found, if you show up at the top of that sorted list, you're going to get more people to buy engagement from you. And so everyone's list is different because it's based on who follows them. So Linda won't see the same list that Jeff sees, that Horsefax sees, because we all have different people following us. And so if you're considering how to earn more or how to set your price, think about, how many followers do you have and how does it stack up against other people with similar followings? And if you can be competitive on that price, and we can do a better job of surfacing that to you and giving suggestions, you'll appear higher in the list, which means more people will buy engagement from you, which means you'll earn more. And so I think TLDR is a great example of someone who struck a really good balance here. I think he charges $2 or $3 and he has, maybe 100,000 or 200,000 followers. And so he follows a ton of people too. And so everyone he follows now sees him in the list. And so he's earned, hundreds of dollars from basically not having to do anything, just from recasting content he would have seen already. And then, something that we're thinking about is how can we help people find specific niche audiences. So I know that if I have a cast about anime, Peachy, I need her to recast it because she is super deep in that community. And so we can do a better job of surfacing, hey, here's based on the content of your cast, people who we specifically recommend based on their followings. And I think that that is going to be a huge level up for us and something that's possible with the, open Farcaster data. Also, top spenders, if you look on the right side, if you want to scroll up to that list, shout out warpcastadmin.eth. He is the arbitrage master. And so if you've been seeing a lot of cock codes in your feed or eggs content and you're wondering why, well, there you go.
I mean, it's the #1 mini app ranked on the Explore page, so that's paying off.
Yep. I don't want to, maybe ascribe causality to it, but
It's been up there for
Yeah.
a bit too. He's laying eggs at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I think like one of the really interesting things about crypto for me has always been like just kind of the ability to run these socio-economic experiments, right? That like crypto uniquely enables. And like now we combine it with like the social context of Farcaster and we get these really interesting things that you can see play out in the real world. And you just like throw the product out there and run the experiment and see what happens. So yeah, really cool to like have this depth of data and be able to go look at what the impact is on the network. Awesome.
for sure. And yeah, thank you guys for giving us the space today to speak about it. And we're really excited to keep building.
Cool. All right, yeah, let's speed run a few more mini app demos here. So I think this week we all just brought a few faves to walk through. Let me share my phone again. Linda, should we start with yours?
Sure. I think BarrioS. I don't know if there's how they're pronouncing it, but I love this one. I think it's so creative. So you just have like apps within apps. Some of them require tokens to unlock, but you can open up like Paint, for example, and start painting in this app. Yeah, maybe you can like draw out the next titles for the following week. Exactly. So I think it's just really cool because like you can basically expand this to like, hey, what does my like homepage look like, and how can I have others play around with things that I'm interested in? So I just love this one. They also have, you can do Minesweeper as well. Synth. We don't have audio, right?
Oh, I don't think so. Yeah.
And then Minesweeper is really cool too. So I'm really into this product, and I hope people check it out.
It's awesome.
Yeah, this one is deep, I think. I haven't explored all of it, right? But it has the token component, it has like the apps within apps. Um, yeah, and it has this whole kind of like OS model within a mini app. I think somebody called it micro apps within mini apps or something like that. It's awesome.
It's really cool, yeah. And then the other one I had was Stokefire. I think this is just a nice, simple one to like for people getting started. You're basically like trying to build a village, and you start off needing to collect resources. So it's just like a lightweight game, but it's fun, and you'll get notifications as you need to like collect more resources and as they're available.
I think I'm on the initial run here, but let's go.
Perfect. So you can see the full experience. And what's cool is like these transactions are actually on chain, but it's abstracted away, so you're really not having to sign and approve a transaction each time. Yep. So now you're gathering resources, and then over time you'll have enough to build a hut, and then from there you can grow more villagers, and you can see like what else everyone else is doing, and they're gonna keep building it out. And I just really like it. There's also music to it if we had audio, but I just think it's like a nice game to get started if people are curious about mini apps.
Yeah, and it has like a small token component too, right? I think when you stoke the fire, you burn some amount of token every time, which is cool.
Yeah, fire. Yeah.
Let's see if I can do that now. I think I need,
And
sure,
this is
why not?
a community stoked fire, so everybody can contribute to that same fire to keep it going, or is it per account? Do you know?
I think this is per account.
Per account.
Yeah. But that's actually a really good idea. Maybe it's later on, but like
Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I know they added this week. This is a great pattern if you're a mini app builder. So deposit from Warpcast wallet. I have some money in my wallet. This is using an embedded wallet under the hood. And so they've made it really, really easy to fund your wallet. Let's just put in a
and
little
we also
bit.
have gasless transactions now. So interacting with mini apps, you don't actually need to have ETH. If you have just USDC, will automatically help you swap that in order to interact.
Yeah, there we go. Funded my wallet. And let's see if I can swap for a little bit.
Your screen's a little laggy. It's definitely not the app that is. Yeah, okay. There you go.
Okay. let's go
Yeah,
back
so you also
and
got a gift from an old man that popped
wait, I
in.
got a gift from an old man.
Yeah, literally, that was literally your feed.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yep, there you go.
Okay, I already stuck, but yeah. Anyways, there we go. You can sort of come
Just way
in
too
every
stoked.
day and I'm too stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you go to activity, I think there should have been either activity or updates. I just saw that the old man gave you, or maybe updates. Where
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I received a gift.
oh,
There
there
it
you go.
is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
cool. So it's just check it out. It's a fun little game.
I'll confess, I have tried to play this a bunch of times and I have burned down like 17 villages. I just get busy. I miss the notification. I've given up. So I've been happy to contribute back those, that fire token to the community and let people raid me and steal my wood. But yeah, we'll see. It takes a degree of focus and dedication that I don't have. But congrats to all those who can pull it off. Cool. All right, I had two I wanted to show. So I wanted to show Morpho. So Sam Huber made this frame. It's really straightforward, really simple, but I love it. It's just a really simple thin wrapper over Morpho, which is a lending protocol on chain, a DeFi lending protocol. And it just lets you deposit either ETH or USDC, which might be sitting in your Webcast wallet, and earn yield on it. So yeah, for here, I think I have some USDC in my wallet. Yeah, we funded this for demos and stuff, and I'm not using it all, right? So maybe we can just put 20 bucks into Morpho and earn some yield on that USDC while I'm not using it. So two main vaults, you just choose a vault here. You approve some amount. Let's do, I don't know, 25 bucks.
It's pretty great. You just earn 5% yield on this.
Is 7702 going to get rid of the approve pattern?
Yeah, it'll at least let us batch it, I think. So we'll be able to hide it from the user, even if it's not completely done for. Yeah, and there we go. Can share back at the end. I always love the share back. But yeah, that's it. It's just like a simple linear workflow, step by step by step, right? I love this pattern of kind of the breadcrumbs through the app, the linear workflow. The MoshiCam team also have a really good starter kit for their frame that has a similar pattern that kind of walks you through how to build this stepped linear workflow through the app. And just, yeah, extremely simple, straightforward, easy to use, but solves this problem where it should be easy to get this into Morpho and keep this in my wallet. So yeah, I kind of use this now as my savings account in my Workcast wallet, where if I have USDC that's sitting around idle, I just throw it in there through the Morpho frame and pull a little bit out when I need it later to do something, a post or use some USDC for some other reason. But yeah, this is awesome. I would love to see more DeFi mini apps as well. Like, I think it's a really great way to connect people directly with whatever your app is and kind of walk them through a kind of guided path on how to use your project or your DeFi app, right? And like Morpho is, a more complex protocol. I think it has, multiple more vaults and options and tokens and things that you can deposit. But this is a really nice way to kind of like narrow that down and bring a little bit of that app into the feed and into a mini app. So I think this is just a great example of a bunch of cool mini app patterns in practice. All right, item number 2. I wish we had audio. I forgot we don't have audio here. But yeah, item number 2 is Tortoise, which is a really cool new frame from Matt Lee, which is all oriented around audio. And this has been especially cool now that we have minimizable frames, so you can like pop open mini apps, pop open the mini app, and and listen to audio in here. But yeah, this is a simple music collection marketplace. It's a really awesome frame. Sort of came out of nowhere onto the feed, but you can upload songs, collect songs from artists. It is the old school listen and collect kind of collectible item model here, and you pay $1.59 for each song that you can collect. I don't think we have audio.
No, but
Okay.
it's really cool because, like, yeah, you straight up just like scrolling your feed, and now you can listen to audio, and you can minimize it and keep scrolling. It's awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, if you're a musician or artist, I think we're like, I'm particularly excited about mini apps as a tool for growing the Farcaster economy and creating these opportunities for people to connect with others in feed and like get distribution for whatever they're interested in. And so it's awesome to see these tools that are oriented around creatives and creators. So artists, musicians, people who are creating things and can get paid for that content in feed. So yeah, check this out. It's really nicely integrated with the social graph as well. You can see what other people are looking at and listening to and collecting in feed. So yeah, awesome to see this launch, and I hope to see it grow in the future.
And you can use amps to boost artists. That's a good use case too.
Exactly. Yeah, composability.
Are you going to drop your single here?
No. Oh, maybe I should. Yeah, I have a few stupid things I've recorded in the past. Yeah. Okay, maybe I will. I'm not prepared for that now, but
horse
yeah.
noises or
Yeah. Exactly.
Honestly, I'll admit that. I don't know what that says about me.
Yeah, maybe I'll get it to my my DJ arc. I haven't done that yet, so everyone's got it at some point, right? Cool. Yeah, I think you had one more, Phil, right? QR.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you guys come across this project yet? So QR is by Jake, who's definitely not me, and it is a really interesting project. So it is a clanker that launched a couple months ago, and it sort of launched like with no product, no roadmap around it. Within the last probably 45 days or so, Jake attached QR to this concept of a daily auction. And the daily auction changes where the QR code points to. And you bid on the auction in the token. And so the idea is most meme coins you look at have this really characteristic chart pattern, which is hype and then gone because the sort of attention fades and it fizzles. And the bet with QR is actually, can you build compounding attention over time? And as the coin gets more attention, the value of the auction increases. Since the auction is done in QR and the auction proceeds are used to purchase QR, it theoretically, takes some out of the supply, increases the sort of standing bid on the token. And as the market cap is higher, more people are willing to look at it, which makes the value of the image more. And so the Frame mini app does a really good job of allowing you to bid every day. And there's a whole bunch of really fun things. So up top, there's kind of this idea of a ticker. You can also see when people are connecting their wallets. There's a sort of real-time thing. You can see when people are bidding. And you can also see the list, if you click on the little trophy, of all of the previous bidders. So all of the days that people have won, you have this list of all of the links that have won. And it's generating hundreds of dollars per day in auctions, and you're essentially buying 24 hours of a billboard. And that billboard is a token. It's a pretty interesting concept. I don't think it's possible without all of these different composable Lego blocks of mini apps and Clanker and everything weird that we're doing. It's sort of like could not have been possible before this. And so I've been really enjoying watching it. Jake does a great job of like hyping people up whenever there's a sale. And there's also an X account where he'll go and like give a little background on the link that won every day. And so he's sort of like memeing this thing into existence, which has been a ton of fun.
This is cool. So we can see the past winners here. All right, we got to put in a bid, right?
Have to.
Let's do it. Okay, we need more QR. Can I swap from directly in here? Do you know?
Yeah, there's a button that says buy QR right there at the bottom.
Yeah.
I love the ticker. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Use Orcast. If I have some USDC. And how does the auction work? I mean, well, we'll find out. Am I locking up my QR when I bid, and then I'll get it sent back when I get outbid?
That's right. And because the transaction fee is so low, there's pretty efficient. Like people are putting in basically like the minimum bid they have to. There's obviously a little bit of peacocking that happens if you're trying to like really seal the deal, but
so I need to bid 5.5 million. Okay.
It's denominated in millions, so I think you do 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. Okay. 5.
Nice.
For the cause.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, how many do I have? Could I do math live?
Well, you should have that, right?
5.6. Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe you could relaunch the frame
Yeah, let's try.
if it doesn't have a live balance.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I got front run.
Feature request, Jake. Turn off autocorrect.
There it is.
in that
Yeah,
field.
cool. All right. This looks like a low bid though. So these are going for like hundreds of dollars in QR most days. Cool. All right. Well, we got a shot, but I think we'll get up it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's one of those ideas where it's like it'll either not work at all or be way bigger than anyone expects. And I like that sort of bimodal outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. This is really fun. Wow, there's a lot. This is like there's deep lore to this one. I've seen it in the feed. I've seen the stickers. But yeah, this is a lot of components that have come together too.
Yep.
And even look at this. We have base colors and other things. So yeah, that's awesome. Like there's so many composable pieces. I think, and that's a big theme. I think like that keeps coming up and keeps coming together is like the composability of apps and on-chain components and programmable parts of the Farcaster ecosystem.
Yep, this is my favorite clanker.
Cool. Well, I think that's it for this week. Thank you, Phil and Jeff, for joining us and showing us amps. And yeah, we'll be back same time next week. Thanks, everyone.
Like
Thank
and
you.
subscribe.
Thank you.
Okay.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, like, subscribe,
Ring that bell.
install, add, clank, build, post, do it all. Alrighty, thanks everyone. Bye.